The Sydney Thunder for BBL Supercoach. They're going to be a pretty interesting team and an important team come round 6 when they have their double game. And I do think that these teams that have their double week a little bit later on in the season, sort of after that round 4 onwards, which is the Hurricanes and also the Thunder there, you're really only looking at the cheapies to start with, unless there was a guy that had a 100k price tag that ended up getting pushed into a really important role. We saw last year, Jack Edwards became one of those players that got put into a really nice role in the middle order and bowling plenty of overs. And unfortunately, we don't really see that here, to be fair. With the Thunder, we do see some potential opportunity for Sam Konstas, which is why he's in my side currently at 39.5k. And the reason for that being is one, I thought that he would push his way into the side at some point. And number 2, that Nick Maddinson has just come away with an injury and should miss the start of the season now. So Sam Konstas, I think, is a very decent chance of batting at 3. And I suppose the other one there is if with that injury that Sam Billings was able to move up the order a little bit. And if that was the case, I think he might be of interest to a few of you guys, a few of us, our teams out there as well. Up top, they have Bancroft and Warner. And Warner at 152, he definitely is the X factor, but the question is, does he still have it in the T20 arena, and can he come out and have those big scores? And he obviously has the potential, but is that going to happen? Bancroft had a really, really nice start to the season last year, and it got to a much higher price than this, and then had a real shocker to end the year, of course, when I owned him in my side. But Bancroft and Warner, they're going to open up likely, and then it's just really this middle order, that 3 to 6, as to what's going to happen here at the beginning of the tournament before Shafane Rutherford comes in at 152, who's going to have a really big impact, in my opinion, on the Big Bash when he does arrive. If you're looking at guys that miss out there's a few that, one person everyone's talking about, and that's Will Salzman, because he has that bat bowl duel, and a 39.5k can be helpful to help you loop on a round-to-round basis. Jason Sanger's actually scoring a few runs right now for Tassie, and he's on 50-odd. Well, he was at lunch, by the time I'm looking at this. And then you've got Hatcher, who's probably next bowler up after Macca, who's the guy that if Lockie Ferguson isn't fit, he'll come into that side as well. But that batting lineup, with it being probably a little bit too unsure as to how it's going to go. The Thunder don't have a double game week till round 6. I think you can avoid most of them, apart from maybe a Sam Konstas if he gets that opportunity in at number 3. Madison, he's cheap for a reason. If he was to be there anyway. I think, there's a very clear reason he is cheap. And then Billings, you'd probably want him to be batting 3 or opening to be of relevance at 113.9k with no double game in the first 5 rounds. Jilk's in there if he's at number 6, not one you want to look at. And then Daniel Sams likely gets moved back down to 7 with Rutherford coming in those important times. And we'll have to see where his price is at and how he's doing, because he's obviously always the bloke in the Thunder team that is of interest to our sides. Chris Green at 129, he's about at his correct price. And you've got Wes Agar, just a tick under 100k now, who's definitely a little bit undervalued for the way that he's played in different years compared to last year. He's well into the hundreds type of player. And moving to a new team, I think that he becomes a little bit more important in this bowling lineup as a quick in this side. So you'll have Sams, you'll have Agar, and then when Ferguson is fit, you'll have those 3 as the quicks, and then you'll have a mixture between Green, Sanger, and if they wanted to bowl a Maddo or an Ollie Davies, these types of players for some part-time stuff for sure, or when Shafane Rutherford comes in as well. And so we just need to see how this whole team looks with Rutherford in the side, and then we can decide closer to round 6 which one of these guys that we do want to select. So when we are looking at who to target, the best role in this team is Daniel Sams, still batting at 7, bowling close to 4 overs, but with some extra, let's say, improved bowlers and guys that are journeymen that have got lots of experience in Wes Agar and Lockie Ferguson. They have some guys that can take the really important overs away from Sams, and Sams can bowl up top, swing the ball, do his good thing, and potentially bowl some overs in the back end as well. But might not have to bowl the surge and these types of bowlers, overs like that. So it's going to be an interesting team. There's definitely some value, I think, in point scoring from some of these bowlers. And Lockie Ferguson, the worry with him is that injury that he's coming into this the start of this tournament with. But Sams has the best look. And then we will be looking at guys like Warner, from later down the track. We'll see where Billings is at that time, what price Bancroft and these guys are at, along with, obviously some of the bowlers and what price they're at this point. I think Rutherford's going to be an interesting one. When he does get into this side, he'll bowl overs, he'll bat somewhere around that 6 mark, so he has a very important role, but at 152. Well, let's see for the first week or two, first round or two, I should say, and go from there. Ferguson, I think, will be their strike bowler. So again, see what price he's going to be at by that point. And then whichever batsman is in form, always had a bit of a drop in price, like I said. And Warner could be that guy, or Bancroft could be, if he's 80 or 90k and is looking to potentially get a good opportunity there. They could give, Ollie Davies might come into form. These types of players are what you want to look at in this Thunder side. So we'll keep it really simple, and we're going to do a big focus more in further videos once we've gone through every team, which we're up to second last now. We'll go through those guys, have the most important roles in their side and have the best opportunity to do well, whether it's just a cheaper bowler, whether it's a cheaper bat that's getting an opportunity up top, or it's those dual position guys that are going to bat and bowl. That's the Thunder. We'll move on to the Hobart next.